Yeah, and there's just a bunch of like miscommunication plays and stuff, like where Adrian would toss it to open field where there'd be no receivers there.
Exactly, like that 2020 Adrian.
Yeah,
Back again.
or the time when there was an option run.
Welcome back to the Stock Talk, folks. Today we're going to be talking about things we got to do this week in the bye week going into the Purdue game. We're going to talk about the Purdue game next week, though.
Yeah.
We're also going to be talking about what's going on in the Big Ten right now, because we know all of you are probably Big Ten fans if you're also podcast fans of ours.
Right.
So we'll talk about the Big Ten, what happened to Iowa yesterday. If you didn't see, we'll tell you about it.
Yep.
Talk Ohio State, talk Penn State. Maybe talk a little national scene too, a little Texas, a little Florida getting
There's
rocked
some
by LSU.
stuff with the Tennessee too, the Tennessee and Kentucky game.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, or Ole Miss, yeah, Ole Miss. Where like fans were like throwing like trash on the field and everything, but yeah.
At one point, like Lane Kiffin, the head coach of Ole Miss, picks up a golf ball and is like,
I saw that, yeah. I saw someone do that.
What the fuck are we doing?
But
yeah, we'll get into that. Later, we're gonna talk a little bit about music, probably, because you were talking about it last night on the porch.
Yep.
We're getting kind of into it about like who are the artists of our generation, and then kind of what we see the future looking like from there.
For real.
We're definitely authorities on that subject, so just wait for that.
Yeah.
But with that, I said we could do a little Curry's idea, go into a little bit of like what we got to do this bye week to come out on top with Purdue, because I guess we're not centered around Purdue, we're centered around ourselves, but Purdue is looking like Alabama against Iowa.
They look really good. Yeah, that was a good game. We kind of watched the highlights yesterday, and they look dangerous. I mean, we were both kind of just like sitting there watching their plays and stuff, and their offense is really pretty automatic. So I don't know. We'll see. Our defense yesterday was not that great against
Great in the second half.
Minnesota. Yeah, it was great in the second half, but still, I mean, if you're going up against what we saw with Purdue yesterday, in 2 more weeks, we got some work to do. So that being said, a lot that kind of comes off of so bye weeks are great. I think we I've seen a lot of stuff on socials just about like how we kind of got screwed over with having 8 straight weeks of games, and then we just now are getting our bye weeks, whereas Minnesota their first game coming off of a bye week was against us, so they were like fresh, they're ready to go, they were hyped up,
totally prepared for us.
Yeah, and one of the big things too that the Husker players were saying in like post game conferences and whatnot was just that like people just were tired, like the guys were just like no one woke up.
Yeah, like they woke up for the game and like they practiced in the morning, so they should do fine in a game. But the players were talking about how everyone was waking up and they were kind of groggy, and everyone kind of had like a business attitude, whether unlike what's normally kind of the case, especially with like late night home games, which is more of like a hype mentality.
Right.
It was more like this is business, we gotta go do what we gotta do.
Right.
Which is like fine, but you also gotta bring the energy.
Right.
And so I don't know if that's on our leaders. That's gonna be huge in this bye week. I really don't think. I think our defense is fine. First half was whatever. They didn't have the energy. Second half, we pretty much shut them down. They did not throw the ball at all in the second half, really. And Jojo kind of talked about that in his post game. I think it really comes down to, I hope in this bye week, Adrian fucking finds his confidence again.
Yeah, no, for real.
That's
He looked really uncomfy in that pocket yesterday, and that play at the end there too, where he stepped back in the end zone and got that safety or whatever, and it's just like you gotta
have the football knowledge of
yeah, for real. You gotta be able to. What was it? 11 yards he backed up.
I don't remember.
It was something like that. Like that's just something you can't be doing. So yeah, I mean it's really just kind of about like we know that we have the ability to play these Big Ten teams big and play them well. It's just a matter of
we're just beating Nebraska.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing we've seen. I mean, yesterday was watching the Illinois game all over again. It was watching the 2020 Huskers again. It was watching the 2019 Huskers again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was so defeating because we know what these players are capable of. We know what this program is capable of in previous weeks. I mean, when we're playing these top 10 teams close, like, it's
13
good.
point differential between Oklahoma and Michigan State and Michigan.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Right. So we know we have the capability. It's a matter of executing and just being prepared, I guess. So I think it really just kind of, I don't know, it's just so tough. It's so tough. And Colt, I mean, I'm sure you guys saw the videos and stuff of him yesterday, just like on the verge of
Kind of
tears.
sad, kind of like.
Just really
Doing is like, kind of just take like.
Yeah.
I'll get better.
Yeah.
Feels just kind of like doing that. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, you're hurting, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, dog.
Not for real.
We'll figure this out for you, and you got to figure it out for yourself. But
Right.
yeah, and it sucks because this Nebraska team has shown literally in every single position that we have what it takes. The O-line has looked good at times. Adrian has looked phenomenal at times. Heisman Trophy contender worthy at times. Our wide receivers have honestly looked really good. They just need to get the ball thrown at the right time. Our defense has looked good all year. We just can't put it all together. The only game we really put it all together was the Northwestern game. Other than that, we just find a way to lose.
Right.
And pretty much every other game.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I think would you say yesterday that our struggle too was our offensive line?
Not necessarily.
Adrian as much?
Adrian was just super antsy. He was really just like uncomfortable. Like he definitely needed to get out of the pocket in some of them, but not as much as he did.
Right.
He was kind of doing too much.
That's true. Yeah, and there's just a bunch of like miscommunication plays and stuff, like where Adrian would toss it to open field where there would be no receivers there.
Exactly, like that 2020 Adrian.
Yeah.
Back again.
Or the time when there was an option run on the outside, and I think it was Yant that was following him, but Yant got ahead of him, and so we couldn't pitch it back to him.
That whole play got busted up.
Yeah, no, for real. And I mean, shout out Minnesota's defense because they played hard yesterday.
We still should have beat him, dude. Like,
No, yeah.
it was Adrian missing passes. That
Yeah.
was the main thing, dude.
Yeah.
Their defense was.
Yeah, and we had the capability too, and I mean, we kind of saw the Huskers wake up at the end of the fourth quarter when they realized that they had to get down the field quick, and then that's when we were seeing plays that we should have been seeing the entire game.
Again, we kind of talk about this too, though. Like they were doing way different defense then. They were doing their prevent defense, where they're kind of just really bubbling out. You know,
Right, and that was a big factor.
So you can like really find the areas for the ball.
Right.
It was a little different. Don't get me wrong. Why is Adrian hitting these passes now? He had so many shots the entire game.
Exactly.
And then Yant tripping in. Now we're just talking. We're still talking. We're doing a post game again.
Yeah. For real.
So yeah, we can probably get off of that focus.
But it all applies to the next game. You know, that's kind of another big thing. But no, I would totally agree. Like, it's just execution. So we gotta nip that in the bud
For real.
for this bye week. Yeah, hopefully the Huskers can come out on top.
Of the bye week.
Yeah.
God, that's a dub right there, dude. That's a dub. There's not even having to play. That's a potential dub right there.
Yep.
Write it down.
For real.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking going into this bye week again. We don't know a lot, and we're just hoping the coaches, do a good job. With that, you want to kind of transition to like just what's going on right now in the Big Ten?
Yeah, absolutely. Iowa, that was a big one yesterday.
Iowa fucking losing to Purdue.
Yeah.
24-7. Not no cupcake dub there for Purdue.
No.
In Iowa, in Kinnick. Insane.
It was super ironic too because last week Iowa fans rushed the field after beating, was it Illinois?
Penn State.
Or Penn State, yeah. They beat Penn State.
They rushed the field after beating Illinois.
And then 1 week later, they get the number 2 ranking in the nation, which I think that's premature. There's no way that's the number 2 football team in the nation.
Well, they deserve it.
I mean, that's
power ranking wise, no.
Right. So it is what it is, but I think it was hilarious. I mean, we don't like Iowa being Nebraska boys and whatnot, so
yeah,
it's always good to see.
Again, you can always respect a good program. Iowa is a damn good program. They do a lot of, they coach well, they practice well. But seeing Purdue just give it to him yesterday was absolutely hilarious. Like Spencer Petras is not that good.
Right.
Their defense did not play as well. Actually, Purdue and Iowa basically switched their defensive identities. Purdue had I don't know how many interceptions, which is normally Iowa's thing.
Right.
All the interceptions.
Right.
And Iowa just struggled.
Yeah.
And Purdue was just getting interceptions. And they were also saying at the beginning of the game that Iowa had the most turnovers on defense. And going into the game, and Purdue was literally last in the FBS, and then they both just flipped.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, good for Purdue. I don't know where Iowa's going to drop because this is kind of why I wanted to talk about Big Ten because Iowa is probably going to fall. They should fall behind Penn State and Ohio State. But it's interesting because Iowa beat Penn State, but Penn State would have beaten that Purdue team, and Ohio State would probably beat all of them. So, I don't know, like the Big Ten is really fascinating right now. They're all probably going to be in top 10. Michigan State and Michigan are going to slide probably ahead of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ohio State's ahead of them too. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all are going to know by the time this is out.
Right.
But right now, this is kind of just speculation. Because, dude, does that mean Cincinnati's going to be the fucking second best team in the nation?
That's wild.
And they're not. That's kind of like the Iowa thing. Like there's a lot of people that will wipe their asses.
Right.
But they're getting that second spot because they deserve it. They deserve it. Yeah, if they play out, they should go to the playoff. If they don't lose, which is wild. Right now, it's looking like a playoff would probably be like Georgia. It's crazy. Cincy, Alabama.
Yep.
Dude, if Oklahoma wins out, they should probably go. If Ohio State wins out, they should probably go too. It's a crazy year right now.
Yeah.
It isn't. No one knows.
Well, it's a big pivoting year. I think like we've kind of seen like, obviously take this with a grain of salt, but I think this is kind of the slow downfall of the Alabama program. At least I'm hoping so. Maybe.
Wait, brother.
Maybe. I'm hopeful. I don't like
Just
Alabama.
off of one Texas A&M.
One loss like that. I mean, at least it's keeping them humble. But I don't know, man. I'm excited to start seeing kind of because Big Ten football is creeping up there with like SEC teams and stuff like that. Like we're up there, and so
Especially this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if this is kind of going to be the new conference rivalry where it's just like where it's Big Ten, Bang Ten, and like SEC little competitions, going on there, rivalries for rankings and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Skurs can get up in there, maybe a little bit.
That might not this year.
Yeah.
Good time though. We got a good team. We got a really good team. Scott Frost has taken a really not great team in UCF pretty damn far.
Right.
Literally undefeated. So
Right.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, Nebraska might come around, maybe not. Texas yesterday couldn't find a way to win.
Right.
Even though that Texas program, Steve Sarkisian is pulling them around. Just wait, they're going to be real good real soon. Probably not this year. They're still working some kinks out. He's an offensive coach, so they have mainly defensive issues. So
Yeah.
he's a brand new head coach. He's going to come in and fix the offense. That's what he knows. His defensive coaches are going to help him on the defense. But yeah, Texas is going to be the real deal real soon.
Yeah.
They're going to start beating Oklahoma, especially if Oklahoma keeps staying washed like they kind of been.
No,
Except for
for
Caleb
real.
Williams, he's kind of a beast. But
Yeah. Yeah. That was another funny thing too, just like seeing Rattler not play and stuff.
yeah, he had the hat on
Yeah.
on the sideline. This
Yeah.
dude had a hat on, dude. You know how demoralizing that dude's got to be? Demoralized, like, oh my gosh.
I
Did
mean-
you hear about the whole thing with Oklahoma this week?
No.
So they have dorm rooms that kind of look over their practice field.
Okay.
They had them blacked out because they didn't want anyone to know that was going on with the quarterbacks.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like the football team went in and blacked out their like curtains.
Like into the rooms or like?
Yes.
Oh my
Because
god.
they don't want anyone to know. Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
And it's like, oh, so you're insinuating the fact that Spencer Rattler is not starting.
Right.
So it's like some dumb shit.
Yeah. Man. Well, I mean, those videos too of him leaked from when he was doing like camps or like high school stuff or whatever. Of just he's like, just not a good teammate from what we've seen. And obviously,
doesn't have the intangibles. Not a great leader.
yeah, and obviously you can't judge a book by its cover, just by seeing the videos that people are putting out there. But you can get a pretty good idea of the type of guy that he is, and then also seeing his reaction too when his backup is playing better than he was, and your fans.
Caleb ran it in, and he's on the sideline like just.
Not even
His whole
celebrating.
team is bouncing around, all happy, and he's. I mean, it's a tough situation. Nothing but respect for the kid. Like he's a really good football player.
Right.
But again, he's not the NFL caliber that everyone was kind of talking about. He was Heisman favorite going in, and
Oh, yeah.
that ain't damn good. That ain't gonna get one bit.
For real.
So yeah, Big 12 looking decent. Oklahoma State is out here, so they beat Texas, and they were ranked like 12th or 11th, so they might be top 10. Michigan State's gonna stay top 10 because they played a real good game against Indiana in Indiana. Kenneth Walker is still playing lights out. Shout out Nebraska though, we shut that motherfucker down.
For real.
Yeah, I don't think Penn State play this weekend. I don't even know if Ohio State goes. Big Ten share.
I don't think they did.
He's like, yeah, we haven't seen any games.
But yeah, it was tough yesterday. We usually have the Hulu login We watched the games on Hulu.
I just dropped my Hulu membership this week.
Carson dropped it, so we were just sitting there. We had it was the ESPN login for the Husker game, and then
Andy B was there. Shout out Andy B.
Right, and then after that, it was just kind of like following games on the ESPN app or whatever we really could.
Yeah. Okay, so Wisconsin beat Army. Interesting. Northwestern beat Rutgers 21-7. Did not see that. Interesting. Yeah, no Penn State, no Ohio State. This is really exciting though because it's actually really good that Michigan State won this weekend because now Michigan and Michigan State are undefeated, and then it's a bye week right now for Michigan State, like with us, and then the week after they play Michigan.
Right.
And that's going to be, if they're both undefeated, which they should be by then, that is going to be one of the best Michigan State-Michigan games.
Right. Does Michigan have a bye week this week then too?
I don't know. Good question. Maybe. Wait, Michigan had a bye week this week. They're not on here.
Oh, that's right.
They have
Okay.
3 teams out of the division are not. Okay. Didn't play this weekend. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, other than that, Clemson got by the skin of their teeth or whatever that fucking saying is on Friday night against Syracuse. Just funny.
Yeah.
Clemson's struggling. Hopefully we play with a bowl game and can wipe them.
That'd be great. No, we were talking about you said that at the beginning. You're like, maybe it's you or Andy. Or
I think it was
someone.
Andy.
It was like we could very well play Clemson in a bowl game. That'd be sweet.
We gotta do a lot better though. We gotta win some games,
Yeah,
maybe.
no, for real.
We gotta be. Oh, we were talking about this. We should talk about this. We were talking about this after the podcast yesterday because was this in the podcast? How we have to win out to go to the bowl game.
I think we briefly talked about it a little bit.
Okay. Well, we gotta beat Purdue. We gotta beat Wisconsin. We gotta beat and then we gotta beat one of Ohio State.
Iowa, yeah.
Honestly, Iowa looks really beatable right now. Especially if we beat Purdue by the transitive property, we are better than them. So
Yeah.
we should be Purdue. We'll see. You'll hear about it in our post game.
Yeah. We're not at the position right now though to beat either of those teams. I would say Iowa or Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean by position? Like if we played them this week, we'd be in position.
Right. I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think.
Do you mean just like we don't have the like skill and like we just lose?
Yeah, like we have more work to do. Like I would if we were playing Iowa next week and then Ohio State that following week, they would both be losses for me at this point right now. But obviously we have more games to play and more work to be done. We got 2 more bye weeks coming up ahead of us, so we'll see. Keep those practices going, keep that work putting out, and I mean it sucks for right now, but we're just playing that waiting game, and hopefully Purdue's going to be big. I'm excited to watch that game just because it's going to be
a lot bigger now.
Yeah, I mean we've been saying that for the last 3 games, like this is a big game, but
That's
they were
in the big time.
They were big games, and we choked. We choked in the last 3, so. Yeah, just wait for it, see what happens, see what the coaches kind of come out with, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So those are kind of our thoughts right now on the college football landscape. Without we transition a little bit. I think there's something else we're gonna talk about that. I don't know. We're vibing out. I might go fix the camera real quick. We don't have Cameron this week, y'all. It's tough.
Right.
It's real tough. We had no cam. We miss him. I had to set up all the audio on by myself, and I had to call him. It was devastating.
It's bad.
The camera angle is probably dog awful. God awful. Dog awful. The way that it is. So yeah, we miss Cam. We need him. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Because he's not behind the camera, we can't help us out. We don't have a producer right now.
Usually he's like on top of it too, but
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna fix the battery. Okay, we're back. I feel like a stand-up comedian again. We were watching Dave Chappelle's new special last night. Shout out Dave Chappelle. That shit was really good.
That was really good.
What was it called?
It was in Detroit.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, it was really good. A lot of good jokes. He's freaking hilarious. He does this thing where look at super. We were talking about this too, and when we were talking about it after, he does this thing where he'll be like, and then that's how this is, and we gotta fix this, and that's how we gotta do better. And he'll just be like, and he'll say some really fucking funny shit, and everyone just goes, ah!
And
laughs.
Yeah, he does a really good job of like doing the roller coaster effect. Because I think we learned about that in high school a little bit.
You can't just be like right here, monotone.
Right, you gotta keep it going up. You got high points where it's super funny, and then it gets really low where it gets like really real and really like true and honest. And then he just rise back up. Yep, yeah. Exactly.
And it just takes the audience for a ride.
Genius.
Like one of those jokes, for example, was like, I should probably shouldn't repeat this, but I don't care. It's Dave Chappelle did it, so I can do it. He's like talking about like how he's a feminist by the definition, and like he like went to this feminist march, and like he wasn't happy with how it was being ran because it could be ran better, and he's like, shit, y'all, I'll be the president, and everyone's like, having fun with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I need one thing, or I need one thing from y'all. To suck my dick. And like literally all of the like shit that he just built up about being like a good guy and like a feminist, just like out the door, just say some guy shit. But you gotta suck my dick.
Yep.
We might have to bleed that out. I don't know.
But yeah,
that's just fucking hilarious.
He's genius. He is really, really good at what he does.
He is a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. We watched some other comedies last night. Like we listened to some like Nikki Glaser. Nikki Glazer's pretty good.
She's funny.
She's funny.
She's pretty funny, yeah.
She could be a little funnier, I think. I think she has a few things that she could do better. Like, because, I mean, again, we were coming off of watching Dave Chappelle. Like, this dude's the best.
Right.
And we were watching Joe Rogan. Joe's, like, not the best either in comedy.
Yeah. I mean, he's got some funny stuff. Like, he's really, he's very much a dad comedian. Like, I get the, like, like dad comedian vibes.
Like, he maybe goes too far and just kind of keeps going and doing his bits.
Yeah, and everyone just kind of like, oh, you know, like in the crowd, but...
not like the cool guy kind of comedy like Dave Chappelle.
Right. Yeah, but he's definitely up there for sure. He's got the platform.
John Mulaney's good. Bill Burr is fucking hilarious. Leo Vaughn is our boy. Leo Vaughn
is so funny, yeah. Did we watch some of his stuff last night? I think a little bit.
Yeah, we watched like a little like funny moments.
That's right. He has like 10 rules or something, right? Was that his thing? No, that was someone else. They're like 10, like, he was like describing me in like 10 ways or something, but it was like through his comedy skit. I think that was someone different.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, comedians are great. We gotta watch more of their shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I know Thomas was big into that for a while. He kind of introduced all of us to John Mulaney, I'd say. At least me to John Mulaney. I didn't know anything about him, but...
He was really into it, Nicole was really into it. I remember Peyton Long was really into it. Definitely no free shout out there.
I don't remember that. No.
Wait, you don't remember Peyton Long? No way.
No, I don't remember y'all talking about it all that much.
Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't.
And I like...
Oh, Sam was really into John Mulaney too, and that's kind of the Peyton thing.
Oh, okay. I see.
Shout out Sam.
Yeah.
Shout out Sam Burton.
We were kind of talking about this a few weeks ago, just like in high school, how I just kind of went off and did my own thing. Like I was a soccer boy and everything, so I just kind of hung out with like the soccer guys, and like we would do like show choir stuff together and whatnot. But you guys really devoted everything you had into like that whole like show choir like group and everything. And
oh yeah.
Like I read that was a big culture. That was a hefty culture.
It was decent.
Like
could have been better.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying there's a presence there for sure. Like there's a lot of following and whatnot. But
and the thing about that is that the reason why is because when you are that kid, musical is one part of the year, one act is the other part of the year, and then show choir is literally everything else. So you are around these people literally all the time, just building and building and building. Whereas like soccer, for example, you have one season where you're together,
right,
and then you're training maybe in the winter,
mm-hmm.
and then you have actual soccer in the spring.
It's a lot. I mean, you're training throughout the year though too, like.
But you get like.
I dig what you're saying, yeah. Whereas you guys are, I mean, you're constantly doing new things together. Like.
I mean, you say that, but you were there too, pretty much.
I mean, I didn't do one act or musical. I was just show choir, so I was just right there.
You did one act senior year, and then you were in show choir all the entire time. And show choir was damn near year round.
Right. No, yeah, for sure, and that's kind of how
our senior year. And there's a nationals, and that was in May, and then.
Yeah.
Choreo was like June, July, so like literally turnaround.
Yeah, I was more like rounded, I'd say, in high school. Like I just kind of had the, not like, I don't know. I had a lot of friends outside of like things that I would do too. But, you know, it was just one of those things. So it worked out. I mean, I'm not complaining about it at all. But
Shout out the high school network.
yeah, no, for real. Crazy dynamic how that's all set up. It's nothing like what Disney portrays it to be.
High school?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
You'd say? I don't know. It's definitely different now than I think it was like in the early 2000s, like when like High School Musical, like when that.
Are you thinking more like kids being thrown in lockers and like bullies and like Letterman jackets?
Yeah, Letterman jackets and like very, just like chads everywhere. Like every dude, you know, you got like your super nerdy guys and you got like the really popular guys and whatnot. And then I don't know, it's just something. It's not what I built it up to.
They definitely differentiated a lot more. Whereas like
Right.
like you said, like we were a lot more well rounded. We were pretty damn different than pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
It was just way different than normal high school.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is probably just easier to tell the story and sell a story when you have like archetypical just stories of like the nerd and the jock and the popular cheerleader and you know.
Yeah.
So like, but like in real high school, like there's some crossover everywhere.
Oh yeah,
There's
absolutely.
always someone.
It's definitely not as clicky. Or it's pretty clicky, but it's not like as like separated as much as like the shows and stuff would probably portray. You know, like, oh, you're going to a nerd party? Like what, dude? Like, what's up with that? Or you know,
I've been in a nerd party, Dungeons and Dragons.
But yeah, I don't know. Diversity is good. You need to have that healthy, well-roundedness to you.
Yeah, dude, diversity.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
diversity.
Facts.
But yeah, what was another thing we were going to talk about today too?
Music, baby.
That's right.
Music. Okay, posing the question to y'all. Who is more influential, or who was more influential on our generation? Drake or Justin Bieber?
That's
That
a good
is the
question.
question we were talking about last night.
That is a very
Curry
good
and I
question.
was just getting into it.
Because we were looking up numbers and stuff, and the numbers say that Justin Bieber is the most
Far and away.
influential. Yeah, easily. So that being said, though, I don't know. That's also like worldwide too. I mean, Justin Bieber has a platform
True.
everywhere.
It's a good gauge though.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, Drake's definitely up there though too. So
He is there.
yeah,
That is his place.
no,
Him and JB reside there.
definitely.
We could do like a tier, like not like a tier, but like a mountain. Like there's people at the top, and then like people kind of like right below.
Yeah,
You know, like Kanye is probably like right below that, and like Jay-Z. But we were also going to talk about this, like what you kind of posed it in the car, like
Yeah.
how we're generational with our shit.
yeah. Like you obviously have your old time classics. That's like Biggie, Snoop Dogg,
Tupac,
Ice Cube.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, all of them. And then you have like your 2000s like rappers or whatever. That's like Eminem. You have Kanye that's there. 50 Cent. Yeah. I mean Snoop was even
Again, this wasn't really our generation, so we're just kind of like off the jump.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that being said, and then there's the 2010s era, and that's very like Kendrick. You got J. Cole. You
Yep.
have
Drake is kind of popping up around here.
Drake too. What else do you have?
Probably like Young Thug.
That's like I think 2015, 2016. There's a big switch
Okay.
where it was like a mid.
So you're breaking it down now to like 2010 to 2015, 2015 to 2020.
Yeah.
Or to present. I guess.
Present, yeah. And I think
2015, dude, I don't even know. But okay, we don't have to go just rappers. Like Kelly Clarkson is huge.
right.
Adele, I'm pretty sure is getting huge right now.
Yeah. Justin Bieber was getting big.
Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bieber's popping up.
He was, yeah, and he was big too in like his what was it 2014 phase or whatever? Was that kind of when he was like getting all the tattoos and cut his
yeah,
hair
like
and
that one album cover was like gray with like all the writing on it.
yeah, yep,
I mean, this is funny because like again, this isn't JB. We don't like listen to him that much, but like we know all of his songs because he's that influential. And we know his, like I literally just described one of his album covers. Like, isn't that crazy? Like it was probably I think it was called like Justice or some shit. You know, like it's like
Right.
like that.
yeah,
They're like I don't even know.
it's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like I think our generation has been most influenced by JP, but also it's so fascinating because I think you can also break it down into like gender. Like definitely guys, probably more Drake. Girls, probably more JP.
Yeah,
Depending, obviously it's cross.
but also like
it's like this, you know.
Ed Sheeran though too, and we were talking about like Lumineers. They had a big kind of like One Republic, kind of those more like, I don't know what you would call them, more like alternative pop rock, type of bands.
Imagine Dragons,
they were big. 21 Pilots, that was a big phase too. Yeah, it's cool to look back and see kind of the trends and everything, and how they all kind of shaped us to be who we are. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, they were pretty big. I would categorize them more in like the 2000s to 2015 like group or so.
Yeah.
Because they dropped that one album with like the
I
felt.
think it was 2015.
Was it?
Yeah. The heist.
Yeah.
With the scale, like the snake scales.
Yeah.
And then their
album cover.
Macklemore's like red album that he came out with after that. It was actually really good. We bumped that shit. I bumped that shit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macklemore's there. Where is... And then we were also talking about... Oh, this is fun. Hold your mic like this. We were also talking about... now I feel like a true like radio podcast. Right?
Yeah, when it comes down from the top, it's something different about that.
I feel like Colin Coward. Colin Coward. Just kidding. I listen to all this shit because he's so hilarious. Yeah, but we were also looking at our numbers for like Spotify monthly listeners. JB's killing it. Ed Sheeran is like next. He's got like 72,000 or 72 million monthly listeners, which is crazy. Fucking Ed Sheeran.
Right.
Like Ed Sheeran is like the most white shit you can listen to.
No, there was one podcast I was listening to with I think it was Jamie Foxx. Where he was he like basically gave Ed Sheeran the platform that he has now, in a really humble way and stuff. But he was like, yeah, there's just this.
Like Ed Sheeran like lived on his couch, right?
This white guy with like red hair. He's kind of like nerdy looking, not like super standout-ish, but his voice is insane, and he can play the guitar really well. And that was kind of like his selling point, and it worked. He killed it. I mean, he really brought that like humble, follow your dreams type of energy to the whole music industry. I would say just like, very raw, very acute, very acoustic, very just your voice.
True.
And like the melodies that he would write to were very it just worked, it flowed.
True, he's definitely a magician. I'm a musician. Like he's a true musician. Like he's definitely got it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I think the industry lacks these days, is like true, genuine, like talented musical people and stuff. I mean, especially if you look at like the songs that are popular.
I don't know. Yeah, because I think I have another angle there.
It's like I miss the raw acoustic, just your voice, no like tampering with the, like the volumes, or like not changing your voice to fit the song, but changing the song to fit your voice, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But I mean, you can find that stuff though.
Yeah, but it's just
really
not
like you're gonna find that artist.
It's not the super popular stuff though these days.
True.
Like the really popular stuff is like, I mean, you look at like Baby and Uzi and
Billie Eilish, Lil Nas X, Jack Harlow.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, those are really really talented people, but it's not the like I'm an Ed Sheeran fan. I'm gonna say it. I'll say it right now. His stuff was very very unique to the industry. Like it was something that like was always kind of there, but it was always kind of like underlying,
Yeah, I don't know about unique. He's just kind of like a white boy singer-songwriter. Kind of the vibe I get. I don't know who to really compare him to, so maybe you got something there.
Like Shawn Mendes, maybe.
That's a decent comp. I mean, definitely they don't talk about the same shit as Shawn Mendes talks about some goofy shit.
Right. But it's the same like talented songwriter who definitely has the ability, it to.
I mean, obviously the 70 million are showing that.
Yeah. No. Exactly. And so.
Okay. So something else you said earlier though was that this generation of music coming up is a lot less. I guess like there's like it's less like I don't know what your word was, like less talent, like it's more just like kind of.
It's more like it's more tampered with. Like people's voices are more tampered with.
So what I would say off of that is, what about like The Weeknd and like Ariana Grande, where they are at the top,
Right.
Because they were the next one on the list too, like The Weeknd and Ariana Grande, and they are just phenomenal singers.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
So there's always going to be like those phenomenal singers, and then obviously like Billie Eilish is a phenomenal singer in her own right because she does her own thing with her own voice. It's like really fast, like kind of like how she's kind of like the Ed Sheeran, like way different, obviously, like the Ed Sheeran of like young women's music right now.
Right. Yeah, and Post Malone's up there definitely too because he's got a phenomenal voice, and I think
he's got the market too. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, for real. Shout out Post Malone because he knows exactly what he's doing. But I think it's more, maybe it's not the music part, but it's more just like the character. And obviously I'm not trying to like pin a characteristic on someone without actually like knowing them or anything. But I'm speaking off of what I've seen on social media, like what you see kind of like everyone talking about and whatnot. But Ed Sheeran he's a very humble, quiet, shy guy. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, I definitely get those vibes from him. But then he pulls this music like out of his pocket and he kills it. He does so good. He doesn't go out and like party. He doesn't go out and like, you know.
Probably more than you think.
Probably. I mean, he has a capability to do that stuff. But I mean, then you also look at like people like, and no hate, but Post Malone or The Weeknd or
insert any rapper.
Yeah, any rapper, literally, and they're constantly rapping about just like money or girls or luxury or the life or making it and stuff. Whereas Ed Sheeran talks about like real stuff, like real love, like connections and real like life experiences. And there are some rappers that do that, like J. Cole is amazing.
J. Cole, Kendrick.
Kanye does that sometimes too.
For sure.
And
Drake doesn't, but he's still up top.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. That's my problem with Drake though, is that he just all of his, especially with
CLB.
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy, where the whole album is just a big flex. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
shit.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And that's why it's not. That's why I like the Kanye. I'm a Kanye fan more because I like the genuine music ability.
You feel the passion because again they're talking about like real shit. Like he's talking about like Kim or like his faith or
His mom.
whatever the hell is like he's Don everything that he's super interested in. You can hear it in his music. It's not just like I got fucking money, I fuck bitches, you know.
Yeah.
Not the Drake thing. Like every rapper does. And then we're talking about what girls do a lot when they get into that space, like Meg or Doja or even Ariana song, like they just talk about sex.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And like kind of like a love thing. Like it's love and money. Money mainly for guys,
Yeah.
or like the luxury life, and then money or love for women. You know who we forgot though? T Swift. We have not mentioned T Swift. T Swift and Ed Sheeran are really similar. T Swift is like that's a true comp right there.
True. Yeah, she really had a huge platform. Still does, but
I don't know what I remember.
yeah,
What's your guess? What's your guess?
I'm gonna guess 45 million. I think her old music is what's carrying that number up so high too.
I'll go over 45. 46.
Ooh, you're right. Good shit. You're right there.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Damn, you're kind of on it, dude. We were like trying to guess these last night. Just kind of like fun. We were like, what about Kendrick? And like we were like, maybe like 40. I don't know, man. Like he hasn't really released a lot. Maybe like 25, really.
I said 30 or something. Yeah.
I said 30, and I was like, 33. And I was like, 27. And I was like, nah, over 30. Over 30. And it was like right at 33.
It was 32 or
It was
something.
32,
Yeah.
6 or yeah.
So
You know,
we're pretty much professionals.
We know the industry, y'all. Hit us up for what you need to fucking talk about. Yeah, right now. 42 minutes.
These.
Pretty solid, especially if you're not having any like Nebraska prediction to do.
Yeah. No, it's been good.
Yeah, anything else we gotta say?
I don't think so.
We want to come out with some merch, y'all. So Cam's talking in the school, so we're gonna do some fun shit.
We're thinking. I've heard stickers is kind of a big one. I love the sticker idea because they're easy and you can slap them on anything and they're gonna look good. Like we promise they're gonna look good. We're gonna do them right. And then we're probably gonna come up with a flag. I want to come up with a flag, at least just for us. Like, we can put something out. Yeah. Put something like behind us.
We gotta put something behind us, right? Like
we gotta get our brand out there for sure. But yeah, I know we've
We're
got
talking about shirts and how we just want to do like an emblem in the top left corner.
Really simple.
Like black, white, gray.
really simple. Maybe something on the sleeve.
Maybe a crew neck.
Yeah.
I think sleeves too much, dude. Y'all gotta let us know though. Like it's really gotta be basic. Like I don't like wearing shit that is too fucking much.
Right. If there's any like merch items,
I don't want to make merch that I would not wear.
Right.
That's kind of what we're gonna base it off of. Like I don't want people to like look at what I'm wearing and be like, oh, that is YouTuber merch. Like no, I want it to be like cool.
Yeah.
And if anything, like we get like a cool hat with like a patch or something. Or
Yeah.
really
You're talking about
cool.
getting those like old style hats with the little braid that goes across the brim too, because
Steel run the damn balls.
Run the Damn Ball does that. Yeah.
Those are in.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Kind of like a trucker hat look.
yeah, definitely. So let us know. Definitely interested. We've gotten quite a few comments and dropping merch too. So
Have it really?
yeah, at least I have. I've heard some stuff at work from guys.
Oh, just like in your personal life.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we got fucking fans. Need merch. You got it, dude. If y'all are saying that, we're gonna make that shit, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise.
Other than that, we're having a lot of fun. Hope y'all are having fun with us too. We're trying to get better. Give us good constructive criticism in the comments, please. But we also like to know we're doing well. So if there's something we're doing well, just so we can figure out our strengths and our weaknesses and really just keep going forward because we're not stopping anytime soon. We're having
Right.
fun, so.
And we're learning. I mean, both of us are just absolute sponges right now. Like we're just soaking up everything.
Everything
you
in
give
life,
us.
period.
Yeah. So whatever you got, send it our way.
Yeah, just be nice. Just kidding. Yeah, whatever the fuck you want.
But yeah, that being said, go Big Red. Let's get a good, successful bye week out of the way.
Yeah.
Purdue hard.
Hell yeah. We'll talk about it pretty soon. Yeah, with that, you already said it. Right.
Yeah.
Go Big Red! That's kind of weird. Alright. Night, y'all.